Hey YouTube, Erie Kyoto here with another deck list. Today we're going to do Kagero Grapplers, or as some people like to call it, Mr. Overlord. Alright, so we're going to start off with my main little Bamf here, Conroe. Awesome. Kagero. Okay, triggers. I run 16 criticals. We're going to do 8 Nova Grapplers and 8 Kageros. Now some people are like, oh, you don't run any heal triggers, what the fuck, man? Well, you know what? Screw all that. The way I see it is, I put, if I know that whenever it, if I know that if I get a trigger and it's going to be a critical, then I know how to attack every time, which is I start off with my Vanguard, and if I pull some crits and there was no guard, then I can put the crit on my Vanguard, boost someone else. Or if they did guard, then I can just put everything else on someone else. So it's really helpful because then I can get my triggers pretty much after the first attack. I don't ever have to worry about anything else, like attacking first with something else, so that just in case I get a stand trigger or something like that. And as far as heal triggers go, I really don't believe, I don't like relying on heal triggers. You don't always get them when you need them, or ever. Sometimes you end up drawing them, and it's totally useless. Whereas this way, I know that if I do get a trigger, it's going to be critical. And some of you are also going to be like, well, you got mixed triggers, you might not always get your trigger off. So we'll get to that in a second. Actually, we'll get to it right now. Grade 1s. 4 bar, 4 Iron Tails, 2 Airmo, 2 Tough Boy, 2 Clay Doll Mechanic. Okay, so I got the grade 1s set up mostly for Kageros, as you can see. That way I can always get my Conroe's effect off. So he can just be like, oh, what's up? I'm gonna ditch myself over here so my buddy Bar or Airmo over here can just be like, what's up? But anyways, and then I also got the grade 1s just in case I end up, well, they're there. I don't know. Tough Boy, he's another 8K vanilla, so I like him. And then the Clay Doll Mechanics are so I can flip damage, because there's a lot of or unflip damage, so I can, because there's a lot of flipping damage from this deck. So grade 2 lineup, got 4 King of Sword, 2 Tejas, 3 Hungry Dumpty, sorry, and 1 Bracky. Okay, so triggers, as far as trying to get them off, since most of my lineup for grade 1s are Kagero, I tried to get majority of my grade 2s as Nova Grappler, sorry. That way my front row is going to be Nova Grappler and my back row is going to be Kagero. That way I can always get my trigger off. Most of the time, whenever I don't get my trigger off is whenever damage check on my first turn, whenever I play a Bar or an Iron Tail over my Conroe. And then it's like, oh, Shining Lady, that sucks. But other than that, not really a big deal. And that doesn't happen all the time anyways. Oh, I'm talking with my hands, it's weird. Okay, Tejas. I love Tejas. He is amazing. He can attack the back row, and a lot of times I'll end up being like, hey, Vanguard, King of Sword, and I'll bring Tejas to the back, and if I happen to have already a grade 1 in my hand, I'll be like, hey, let's pop Conroe over there and grab another grade 1 and put both of them behind them. So then, since I know that if I'm going to pull a trigger, it's going to be critical, so I'll attack King of Sword first, right? It's like second, third turn, so they don't really let that go, you know, and they're just like, whatever. If it's my first turn, cool little thing I like to do against Royal Paladins here. Put this guy up right in front of, right in the same column as him. I'm sure you already know that's pretty cool. But then if I get a trigger, I'll add the trigger, of course, but then I'll add the power over here, because that power makes it to where they're going to drop 2 cards or they're going to lose their Barkle. That happens with, I guess, other... I can attack a Conroe with like that too or something. But if I'm playing against Kageros or any other grade 0 that drops to the back like that, if I feel like it's going to be an endangerment to my game and I happen to have Chaos, they're gonna lose that, or with at least with Barkle, they're gonna lose that hand advantage that they were gonna have with the superior ride, or they're just gonna lose the superior ride altogether. It's up to them. Okay, grade 3s. Gonna run my main man. Well, actually, my main man's down here, Mr. Invincible. He's the one that goes into the Vanguard, because he's awesome. Soul charge, unflip 1 damage. I don't really use his Mega Blast ever, because that doesn't really happen. The game, because I run so many criticals, the game moves fairly quickly. Since I'm getting criticals almost every time I unflip damage or trigger check. And then we got 4 Dragonic Overlords. There we go. 4 Dragonic Overlords. Because he's pretty awesome. Counterblast 3, gain 5. Stand every time you destroy a rear guard. A lot of times I'll just give him that boost, and then again with Mr. Invincible as the Vanguard, swing him first. If I get a critical, boost Overlord even more. And I think the most I've attacked with the Overlord so far is 34. Yep, because I pulled 2 critical triggers. So yeah, 34 is pretty beastly. The only way you're going to stop that is dropping your whole hand or dropping a null guard. So, pretty awesome stuff there.